My child, there were seasons in your life when you believed silence meant abandonment. You looked toward heaven and wondered why the answers did not come as quickly as you hoped. You prayed through tears. You carried burdens no one could see. You smiled in front of people while secretly fighting battles inside your heart. Yet even in those hidden moments, I was closer to you than you realized. The world often measures strength by loud victories and visible success. But I measure strength differently. I saw every moment you chose to keep going when your spirit felt exhausted. I saw every time you stood back up after disappointment tried to crush your hope. Others may have overlooked your endurance, but heaven never ignored it. Every silent struggle became part of the story I was writing over your life. There were nights when loneliness wrapped around you like a storm cloud. You questioned whether anyone truly understood your pain. People walked away. Some misunderstood you. Others judged your silence without knowing the weight you carried. But I never misunderstood you. I knew every wound hidden behind your smile. I heard the prayers you whispered when nobody else was listening. What you thought was isolation was actually preparation. I was teaching you to depend on my voice more than the approval of people. I was pulling you away from shallow foundations so your faith could grow deeper roots. While others relied on temporary things, I was building something eternal inside you. The process felt painful because growth often happens in hidden places before it becomes visible. You asked why certain doors closed in front of you. You wondered why opportunities disappeared just when you thought life would finally become easier. But those closed doors protected you from paths never meant for your destiny. I was redirecting your steps, even when you could not understand my plan. Delay was not denial. Silence was not rejection. I was aligning the right timing for your future. There were betrayals that wounded your heart deeply. You trusted people who later turned against you. You gave loyalty and received disappointment in return. The pain nearly convinced you to stop caring altogether. Yet even through betrayal, I was teaching you wisdom. Not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay forever. Some people arrive as lessons, while others arrive as blessings. The ones who walked away created space for the right people to enter your future. My child, the tears you cried were never wasted. Every moment of heartbreak watered the ground where your future strength would grow. You believed you were breaking apart, but I was shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Pain did not destroy you, because my hand remained over your life even in the darkest moments. There were mornings when getting out of bed felt like a battle. You carried heaviness in your chest and exhaustion in your mind. Fear whispered that nothing would ever change. Doubt tried to convince you that your prayers were useless. But every time you chose to keep believing, even in weakness, you defeated the lies meant to stop you. Faith is not proven during easy seasons. Faith is revealed when someone continues trusting even while walking through uncertainty. You often compared your life to others and wondered why their journey seemed easier. But your path was designed differently because your purpose is different. I allowed certain struggles to strengthen qualities within you that comfort could never produce. The storms built endurance. The waiting seasons built patience. The disappointments built wisdom. Everything you endured shaped you for the calling attached to your life. Do not despise the seasons when progress felt slow. Those were the moments when unseen transformation was taking place inside your spirit. Trees with the deepest roots survive the strongest storms. In the same way, The challenges you faced were creating a foundation that will not collapse when future pressures come against you. Many people only want blessings, but few are willing to grow through the process required to handle those blessings wisely. I was preparing your character before releasing greater opportunities into your hands. If certain things had arrived too early, they would have destroyed you instead of helping you. Timing matters. Preparation matters. Spiritual maturity matters. You thought you were forgotten because the answers took longer than expected. But heaven never lost sight of you for even one moment. While you waited, I was arranging details behind the scenes. Conversations were happening that you could not hear. Doors were being prepared that you could not yet see. Protection surrounded you in ways you may never fully understand. The enemy tried to convince you that your life had no purpose. He whispered lies during your weakest moments. He reminded you of every mistake and every failure. But your failures never canceled your destiny. Grace covered you even when you stumbled. Mercy lifted you every time you felt too broken to continue. I never demanded perfection from you. I only asked you not to quit. My child, there is power in endurance. Anyone can celebrate during good seasons, but not everyone remains faithful during painful ones. You remained standing even while carrying wounds nobody knew about. That endurance became proof of the strength I placed inside you. You survived moments that once seemed impossible to survive. Now you are entering a different season. The pain did not last forever. The waiting did not last forever. The confusion did not last forever. What once felt like endless darkness is beginning to shift. The same God who sustained you through difficult seasons is leading you into restoration. Do not let fear stop you from embracing what is ahead. The past tried to make you believe disappointment would always follow you, but your future is not controlled by your previous pain. I am doing something new in your life. Opportunities will come that once seemed impossible. Peace will replace anxiety. Strength will replace exhaustion. Hope will rise again where despair once lived. But you must continue trusting me. Do not allow bitterness from old wounds to poison the new season I am bringing into your life. Forgive those who hurt you, not because they earned it, but because freedom is more valuable than resentment. The weight you carry today can prevent you from receiving tomorrow's blessings. Stay close to me in prayer. Speak honestly with me about your fears, your frustrations, and your hopes. I am not distant from your emotions. I care about every detail of your life. Prayer is not about perfect words. It is about connection. The more time you spend with me, the clearer your direction will become. Do not rush ahead trying to force things to happen in your own strength. Trust the process unfolding before you. Some blessings take time because they require preparation. Some miracles arrive slowly because they are being built on lasting foundations. Temporary success fades quickly, but what I build in your life will endure. You are stronger than you think. You are more capable than fear tells you. The battles you survived already prove that. Every scar carries evidence of resilience. Every difficult season became proof that you can overcome more than you imagined. The next chapter of your life will not look like the last one. What once brought tears will eventually become testimony. What once caused pain will become wisdom you used to help others. Nothing you endured was meaningless. Every experience shaped part of your future purpose. So lift your head, my child. Stop speaking defeat over your future. Stop believing the lie that your best days are behind you. Your story is still unfolding. There is still purpose attached to your life. There are still blessings waiting ahead. There are still prayers that will be answered in ways greater than you expected. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. You are being prepared for greater things than you can currently see. My child, there is a reason the enemy fought your mind so fiercely. There is a reason discouragement tried to settle over your spirit again and again. Darkness does not attack empty people. The pressure surrounding your life was evidence that something valuable was growing within you. The battles were intense because your future carries weight. The storms were heavy because your destiny is significant. For a long time, you believed you were simply trying to survive. Day after day felt like an exhausting cycle of struggle, disappointment, and uncertainty. You woke up carrying invisible burdens while pretending everything was fine. You learned how to hide pain behind polite smiles. You learned how to stay silent because explaining your heart became too exhausting. Yet even when nobody understood your internal battles, I understood every detail. I saw the moments when anxiety kept you awake at night. I heard the thoughts racing through your mind when fear told you the future would never improve. I watched you question your worth after rejection and disappointment left scars on your confidence. But your value was never determined by who rejected you, ignored you, or walked away from you. Your identity has always been rooted in something deeper than human opinion. The world constantly pressures people to prove themselves through success, attention, and recognition. But I was teaching you something different. I was teaching you to find security in my presence instead of chasing validation from people who could never truly satisfy your soul. Human approval changes like the wind, but my love for you remains constant. Many times, you thought your life was falling apart when it was actually falling into place. Certain relationships had to end because they were draining your peace. Certain opportunities had to disappear because they would have distracted you from your true assignment. Certain delays were necessary because your character needed strengthening before the next season could safely arrive. You often asked why life became harder right when you started believing again. But growth frequently comes with resistance. Every time you moved closer toward healing, fear tried to pull you backward. Every time you started rebuilding confidence, old wounds tried to remind you of previous failures. The enemy hoped exhaustion would convince you to stop moving forward altogether. But look at you now. You are still standing. Not because the journey was easy, but because grace carried you through every moment that should have destroyed you. There were seasons when you barely had enough strength to continue, yet somehow you kept taking another step. That strength did not come from your own ability alone. I was sustaining you even when you could not feel it. My child, you must stop measuring your progress only by visible results. Some of the greatest transformations happen internally before they ever appear externally. While you focused on what had not changed around you, I was changing your heart, your mindset, your discernment, and your spiritual strength. The person you are becoming now is far wiser than the person you once were. My child, the season ahead of you will require courage, unlike anything you have shown before. Not the kind of courage that shouts loudly for attention, but the quiet courage that continues believing when circumstances still look uncertain. The quiet courage that wakes up every morning and chooses faith over fear one more time. The quiet courage that keeps moving forward even when answers have not fully arrived yet. You have already survived seasons you once thought would destroy you. Remember that. There were moments when you believed the pain would never end. Moments when confusion surrounded every direction. Moments when you felt emotionally exhausted from carrying burdens nobody else could see. Yet here you are. Still breathing, still hoping, still searching for light even after walking through darkness. That alone is proof that I have been holding you together this entire time. The enemy tried to convince you that your weakness disqualified you. He replayed your failures repeatedly in your mind. He reminded you of missed opportunities, broken relationships, poor decisions, and painful memories. He wanted shame to become a prison around your future. But shame was never my plan for your life. I do not define you by your worst moments. I do not measure you by your mistakes. I do not abandon you because of your scars. Your scars tell a story of survival. They reveal the battles you endured and the strength you gained while overcoming them. Some people allowed hardship to harden their hearts, but you continued searching for hope even through disappointment. That matters more than you realize. My child, there are blessings approaching your life that will require a healed heart to receive properly. That is why I have been teaching you to release bitterness little by little. Pain can either transform someone into a compassionate person or a bitter person. I have been guiding you toward healing because your future cannot flourish while chained to resentment from the past. Forgiveness does not mean pretending people never hurt you. Forgiveness means refusing to let their actions continue controlling your peace. The wounds were real. The betrayal was painful. The disappointment cut deeply, but carrying those burdens forever will only delay the freedom waiting ahead. You cannot fully embrace a new season while still clinging to the weight of old pain. There are people connected to your future who need the healed version of you, not the broken version trapped inside yesterday's wounds. The wisdom you gained through suffering will eventually help others survive their own difficult seasons. One day your testimony will become someone else's encouragement. Right now, you may still feel uncertain about where your life is heading. Questions remain unanswered. Some prayers still seem delayed. Certain situations still appear impossible. But do not confuse delay with abandonment. I am still working behind the scenes in ways your human eyes cannot fully understand yet. There are doors opening quietly. There are opportunities forming gradually. There are conversations happening that will eventually impact your future. There are blessings moving toward your life even now. Timing is important. If everything arrived immediately, you would never develop the maturity required to sustain it. Fast success without wisdom often leads people into destruction. That is why preparation matters. I care more about building your future correctly than building it quickly. My child, stop speaking hopelessness over your future. Your words carry power. Every time you constantly declare defeat, fear, or failure, you strengthen discouragement inside your spirit. Begin speaking life instead. Speak hope even before results appear. Speak faith even while uncertainty still exists. Speak peace over your mind when anxiety tries to control your thoughts. The battle in your life has never only been external. Many of your greatest battles happened within your own mind. Fear tried to make you expect disappointment before anything even happened. Doubt tried to convince you that good things belong to everyone except you. Comparison made you feel left behind while watching others move ahead faster. But your journey was never designed to look identical to anyone else's. Some people bloom early, others bloom later. Some people rise quickly, others grow slowly but deeply. Neither path determines worth. Your timing remains in my hands, not in comparison with others around you. Stop believing the lie that you are running out of time. What I have prepared for you cannot be stolen by another person's success. My child, you are entering a season where discernment will become extremely important. Not every opportunity is from me. Not every person who enters your life carries good intentions. Some distractions arrive disguised as blessings. That is why you must stay close to me spiritually. Prayer will help protect your direction. Peace will help guide your decisions. Wisdom will help you recognize what belongs in your future and what does not. Do not ignore the warning signs I place before you. When something steals your peace repeatedly, pay attention. When certain people constantly drain your spirit, pay attention. When fear pressures you to move faster than wisdom allows, slow down and listen carefully. I am not leading you into chaos. I am leading you into clarity. The next season of your life will require stronger boundaries, deeper faith, and greater trust in my voice. Some relationships will shift. Some environments will no longer fit who you are becoming. Do not resist necessary change simply because familiarity feels comfortable. Growth often requires leaving behind versions of yourself that no longer align with your future. There is still healing taking place inside you. Be patient with yourself. Do not condemn yourself for moments when you still feel weak. Healing is rarely instant. Sometimes it happens slowly, layer by layer, lesson by lesson. What matters is that you keep moving toward wholeness instead of returning to hopelessness. You are not failing because you still struggle sometimes. You are growing. A person who keeps fighting for peace has not lost the battle. A person who keeps praying through tears has not been abandoned. A person who keeps standing after disappointment is already stronger than they realize. My child, the future ahead of you carries purpose. Your life is not random. Your survival was not accidental. There is meaning attached to the very fact that you are still here after everything you endured. Many times the enemy thought pressure would finally break you completely, but grace kept rebuilding you every single time. Now it is time to move forward without constantly looking backward. The past may explain you, but it does not own you anymore. The pain may have shaped you, but it does not control your destiny. There is still joy ahead. There is still peace ahead. There are still beautiful moments waiting for you beyond this current season. Trust me with what you cannot understand yet. Trust me with the timing you cannot control. Trust me with the doors that remain closed for now. Trust me with the future you cannot fully see. One day you will realize that even the hardest chapters of your life were preparing you for something greater than you imagined. Until then, keep walking. Keep praying. Keep believing. Keep healing. Because the story is not over yet, my child. Your breakthrough is still unfolding.